The spread of the coronavirus reaches North Carolina.
And Super Tuesday leads to a dramatic change in the presidential primaries.
Plus, a professional football player gets elected to local office.
Those stories and more coming up on Carolina News Today.
Officials in North Carolina are trying to track down anyone who was in contact with the state's first presumptive coronavirus patient. Governor Roy Cooper announced the first case Tuesday afternoon.
Our state lab has been testing for the new coronavirus, and today we have confirmed our first presumptive positive results for the new coronavirus in North Carolina. The person from Wake County, North Carolina, traveled to the state of Washington and was exposed at a long-term care facility where there is a current outbreak of the new coronavirus.
That facility is Life Care Center in Kirkland, Washington, where 4 deaths have been linked to the virus and dozens of other people are showing symptoms. North Carolina officials say their first patient is now in isolation at home.
Here at UNCP, the Chancellor's office sent out a statement addressing the first coronavirus case in the state and its potential effect on the campus. Providing tips to students and employees, the statement notes increased public concern and urges students to be careful over spring break by taking similar precautions that you would for the flu. For more information about the virus and how to protect yourself and others, you can also visit the Centers for Disease Control's website.
President Trump visited Charlotte on Monday to hold the Keep America Great rally at the Bojangles Coliseum. The rally occurred on the eve of Super Tuesday, just before voters casted their votes on the Democratic primary. Senator Lindsey Graham greeted Trump after Air Force One landed. Trump also talked about some of the actions his administration has taken against the coronavirus.
My administration has also taken the most aggressive action in modern history to protect Americans from the coronavirus. You know about this whole thing? Horrible. Including sweeping travel restrictions. Today we met with the big, great pharmaceutical companies, and they're really working hard and they're working smart. And we had a great meeting today with a lot of the great companies, and they're going to have vaccines, I think, relatively soon. And they're going to have something that makes you better, and that's going to actually take place, we think, even sooner. So it's a lot of good things are happening.
Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden gained some momentum this week after Super Tuesday. He secured almost 600 delegates from primary wins in over 10 states, including North Carolina. Shortly after his win, Beto O'Rourke and Amy Klobuchar dropped out and endorsed Biden at a rally in Texas, with just 19 states and territories reporting. 3 candidates remain, and the tight race to win the primary continues.
Former New York City Mayor, former Republican Mike Bloomberg dropped out of the race on Wednesday and endorsed Biden. Senator Elizabeth Warren dropped out Thursday but declined to provide an endorsement. She earned the second largest number of Democratic delegates of any woman in the presidential campaign history, behind only Hillary Clinton in 2016.
In Robeson County, former NFL player Vontae Leach won a seat on the Board of Education. Leach was the front runner vying for one of 3 at-large seats and ended up with more than double the votes of any candidate. That was about 32% of the vote. Leach is a native of Roland who graduated from South Robeson High School. In running for school board, he said he believes in investing back in the communities that invested in him.
This week was Severe Weather Preparedness Week in North Carolina, and the UNCP participants in tests of their tornado warning system. And Tennessee communities and around Nashville are coping with deaths, injuries, and massive destruction after this week's deadly storm. 2 powerful tornadoes with wind speeds of up to 175 miles per hour caused widespread destruction and killed at least 24 people. 5 children were amongst the victims. The National Weather Service says one of the twisters was an EF4 tornado that hit Putnam County. One survivor there was able to talk about her brush with death. CNN sources shared her story.
He lives right at the beginning of, well, up here by Cambridge Park.
Amanda Randolph walks us through the mud, through the mess, through the dozens of volunteers. using chainsaws, cleaning up her home after a tornado chewed through the neighborhood.
I was right here. So I don't know how I got out. And I don't know how I survived.
A tree narrowly missing her as she sat in this now unrecognizable smashed black Honda.
The sky, but it's like the wind, maybe rain, whatever. Everything was like a gray and then a green color. And I could feel my whole car shaking, and it sounded like a freight train. It's exactly the way they say it is. It happened so fast, no warning.
Suffering a few broken ribs, tonight she's without a car, her belongings. But this brush with death put her life in perspective. Like so many of us do, Amanda had been going through a rough time.
I've come to this point in life where everything's gotten really hard lately. I'm newly divorced and got 3 kids, trying to learn how this divorce thing works.
She thought she had reached a breaking point.
I just don't know how much more I can take. It's hard. It's really hard. I mean, that day in particular, like, I would have been completely okay with just like not existing.
But in that moment, she thought her life could be over. There was clarity.
Sit in my car that night like I just didn't want to die so bad.
She knew her children. Her life was worth believing in.
I'm so grateful for whatever was looking out for me, because I wouldn't be here without it.
Speaking of scams, we all know about email scams from Nigeria, sometimes called phishing scams. But one recent attempt in Scotland County came by regular mail. The Scotland County Sheriff's Office says some residents got fake American Express letters notifying them that an account had been opened in their name. The letters said to call the number provider if the account had been opened without their knowledge. Of course, it was all fake. The phone number is a landline in Nigeria, and the person on the other end tries to get personal information out of the victim.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation says the public can report new potholes online to DOT websites, and the department's Office of Civil Rights is making it easier for disadvantaged businesses to compete for transportation contracts. This is NCDOT Now.
Welcome to NCDOT Now. I'm Sazia Bashar. It's gone now, but for the first time this season, the entire state was impacted by winter weather, and the North Carolina Department of Transportation was ready. Last week, more than 2,000 NCDOT employees used 1,500 trucks and graders to treat and clear roads and slippery spots after North Carolina's first widespread snowfall of 2020. Despite rain impacting some of the department's brining efforts, NCDOT used more than 900,000 gallons to prevent snow and ice from sticking to the roads. Winter weather can create potholes, and with approximately 80,000 miles of state-maintained roads, NCDOT needs your help in getting them fixed. The public is urged to go to the department's website and search pothole to let the crews know where one is located and needs repairment. Your report will go directly to the county maintenance office that will handle the problem. NCDOT's Office of Civil Rights is making it easier for more businesses to compete for work. Earlier this week, the agency launched a new website that will allow small, disadvantaged businesses to apply online and become certified to market their firms in the transportation industry. To get more details, go to ncdot.gov. And that's it for this week's edition of NCDOT Now. From all of us here at the North Carolina Department of Transportation, safe travels.
A big North Carolina employer says it's increasing its minimum wage to at least $15 an hour.
And some kids in New England hold a Super Tuesday of their own.
We'll be right back with you, these stories, and
can a particular dietary lifestyle help with brain function? We'll tell you what some researchers are saying right after this.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
Yes.
you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
The state of North Carolina and FEMA have announced a grant of more than $1.4 million to the University of North Carolina at Wilmington for Hurricane Florence-related costs. The grant will reimburse expenses used for module classrooms after the hurricane damaged the university's main science building. The temporary units allow students and faculty to continue their academic studies.
Wells Fargo is raising the minimum wage for 20,000 of its employees. The new wage for bank locations will go up to $15 an hour for some and as much as $20 an hour for others. Wells Fargo says they'll hit that goal by the end of the year. The bank also announced 2 new bank accounts, a checkless account with no overdraft fees, as well as one that includes checks and limits overdraft fees to 1 per month. Those will be available by early next year.
Here on campus, everyone's gearing up for spring break by taking midterms or finishing up a first 8 weeks course. We asked students what they've got going on next week.
I work at the school, so I'm going home, I'm going to sleep, I'm going to play the game, and just rest, yeah.
My plans for spring break is to probably go to Miami or whatever and, enjoy myself.
I'm ready for this break so I can go home and lay in my bed and take a nap. School been beating me, just finished midterms. I don't want to turn up, I want to take a nap, so that's what I'm going to do.
Just chill out and, it's been a long semester, long year. Got to focus on my grades right now.
I'm about to be a child of God and eat Chick-fil-A and sleep.
Going to VA with friends.
Do some lift, get some money over spring break.
I'm going to follow up on an internship in Chicago, so I'll be on the south side of Chicago working with kids and stuff.
I am going to New Orleans for up until Tuesday. Then I'm come back, work a little, make my money, come back to school, and get ready for the second half of the semester.
A school in Fairhaven, Vermont held a Super Tuesday of its own this week. Students got to vote for the first time in a special election, but they weren't voting for humans. More on this cute story from CNN News Source.
Welcome to voting.
There's a first time for everything.
Mr. Thompson, welcome to the election. Sir, step on up.
And in the town of Fairhaven,
Sir?
first-time voters are casting their ballots for many first-time candidates.
Why do you want Can't Be the Horse? Because she's so cute. Because they are so cute.
Many of the 18 mayoral candidates are making their final campaign stop at the polling place.
So you get to vote today.
Hoping to win over some undecided voters.
He's feeling great. He got to greet all the kids coming to vote, so it was his day.
Well, I think she's hungry. That's about it, because she's been nibbling on the building. It's a different sort of day for her. We're quite excited, I imagine.
Everybody loves dogs, and then there's even a greater population that love police canines.
I voted for Canine Sammy because he's cute. He's just adorable. She's cute and she likes to walk on leashes.
Whether they run, walk, hop, or gallop like Can't Be the Horse.
He's just kind of the center of attention at the barn.
All the candidates are raising money to replace the school's 30-year-old playground.
The slide has a big hole in it and it's just going down.
Mr. Lemoy, welcome.
These students are learning that electing a lovable leader could help turn things around.
People would have leadership and kind of like, be part of the tower.
It's a first they'll never forget.
It's been considered one of the healthiest lifestyles in the world, and now researchers have identified more benefits of the so-called Mediterranean diet.
It's a plant-based diet rich in fruits, veggies, grains, nuts, and seeds. And a new study published in the medical journal BMJ found that eating the Mediterranean diet for just 1 year altered the microbiome of older men and women in ways that improved brain function and could lead to a longer life. The study found the diet can inhibit production of inflammatory chemicals that can lead to the loss of cognitive function and prevent the development of chronic diseases such as diabetes and cancer. The study analyzed the gut microbiome of more than 600 Europeans between 65 and 79 years of age before putting more than half of them on a special Mediterranean-based diet for a year. The rest of the participants studied were asked to continue to eat as they always did for the same 12 months. After the year was over, those who followed the Mediterranean diet saw positive changes in their digestive system. The study also found there was growth of beneficial bacteria linked to improved memory and brain function. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Braves wrestling and basketball waged big battles in the Jones Center to advance in the postseason.
And UNCP has a new home run leader.
Ty, the sports guy, tells us all the exciting action up next.
We may measure success differently, but our paths all start with a choice. Believe in your dreams. Believe in yourself. Dream bigger. Reach higher. Go farther. Choose quality. Opportunity. Experience. However you measure success, you can get there from here. Choose UNC Pembroke. Choose to be a Brave.
Campus engagement and leadership is a team, and our mission is to provide experiences for students in a values-based and student-centered environment.
Together we are Brave Nation because serving students is our passion.
We encourage students to connect with peers, faculty, staff, the campus community, and beyond.
Getting connected means identifying your interests and matching them with a multitude of opportunities here at UNC Pembroke.
Engaged students never stop learning.
Being engaged means celebrating the culture of campus through personal and group exploration.
Leadership at UNC Pembroke is about creating a legacy that will leave both the campus and the community better than you found it.
Leading means working with others in a supportive community to create positive change.
Connect to opportunities, engage in exploration, and lead your community.
Together, we are changing lives through education.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
We may measure success differently, but our paths all start with a choice.
Brave Nation, what is up? Welcome back to CNT Sports. I'm Ty, the sports guy. Since our last episode, Braves Athletics competed in 12 games, and out of those games, UNCP only lost 2. It's been an exciting week for sports, so let's get right into it with Braves Wrestling, who competed in the NCAA Super Region 2 Championships. Nick Daggett, Logan Saliga, and Nick Key all posted wins in their respective tournaments. while 3 others finished as runner-ups in their weight classes. With these finishes, the Braves finished in first place to win the NCAA Super Region 2 title. UNCP will send 6 representatives at next month's NCAA Division II Championships. Good luck. Softball had a doubleheader against Mount Olive. In Game 1, the Braves were able to put up 3 points in the first inning, but couldn't keep the momentum going, allowing Mount Olive to break away and score 12 unanswered points to take Game 1. In Game 2, the Braves took the first game and flipped it, allowing Mount Olive to only score 1 run. UNCP had multiple runs scored in the 3rd and 4th inning to walk away with 9 runs scored. The 2 teams split the twin bill. UNCP's next matchup will be this weekend against Fayetteville State. Baseball battled 2 teams this week, a weekend series against Claflin and a single game against Barton. In the series against Claflin, the Braves came away with a series sweep. Better yet, a series blowout. Out of the 3 games played, the Braves only allowed Claflin to score twice, while the Braves in total scored 66 runs. The Braves carried that momentum into the next game against Barton, only allowing Barton to score 6 runs, while UNCP, led by senior slugger Ethan Balcom, scored 20 runs to take the win. Ethan became the program's all-time home run hitter with a 3-run shot in the 3rd inning, marking his 47th career blast. Baseball's next game is today against Young Harris. Congratulations to Ethan. Women's basketball had their last game Sunday when they faced up against Georgia Southwestern on Senior Day. The Braves kept the game close in the first period, but lost control in the second and couldn't connect on their shots, only scoring 8 points in the second quarter. This forced the Braves to continue to trail for the rest of the game, and unfortunately, they couldn't bounce back in time. Georgia Southwestern shot 46% from the field to win over the Braves 73-64. Good luck to all of our seniors on the team for their future endeavors. Men's basketball had 2 games this past week, one against Georgia Southwestern and one against North Georgia. In the first game against Georgia Southwestern, it was an intense game concerning what was at stake, the Peach Belt Conference regular season title, and to add even more pressure, it was senior night as well for the men. Before the game started, junior David Strother was recognized with becoming the 37th member of UNCP's 1,000 point club. Congrats to David on this career milestone. The Braves shot 50% or better in field goals attempted from the 3-point line and also from the free throw line. Their defensive performance also contributed with 9 steals and forced 16 turnovers to take the win and sole possession of the PBC regular season title with a score 88-65. In the second game against North Georgia, it was the PBC quarterfinals and another milestone was in reach. Akia Pruitt only needed 6 more rebounds to become the first player in PBC history to register 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. It was a slow start in the first half for the Braves, not connecting on most of their shots, but their defense and rebounding kept them in the game. In the second half, it was all Braves scoring, increasing their lead to a 30-point lead and never looked back from then on. The Braves advanced in the playoffs with a win 90-62. After the game, Akia talked about how he felt now that he reached this career achievement.
It was always kind of in the back of my head because I knew I was close, so I think I was kind of stressing a little bit. But now that I got it, I could kind of like relax. And I mean, I still have it in the back of my head because I want to keep building on that, kind of making untouchable or something. I try at least, but I can relax now.
Head coach Tony Jones also gave his input on how he thinks the team can perform in the playoffs.
Defensive rebounds like our bread and butter, so the guys crashed hard. Just like I said, we had 8 guys with 4 or more rebounds, which is phenomenal. I'm not sure if those 21 offensive rebounds is a record for us or not, but that's how we can rebound every game. And they're not a small team either. They got some size. Their guards are kind of big. Their bigs are like 6'7" and 6'6", so they're not small guys. So just that effort and energy consistently, I think we can make a deep run.
Well, that's all the Brave sports updates I have for you this week. This, unfortunately, is my last episode, and it's been a pleasure to provide you, the Brave Nation, with all the sports updates. I'm Ty the Sports Guy. Goodbye for now. Extasia, Samantha, back to you.
Thanks, Ty. We're off next week for spring break.
But when we come back, we'll be covering Women's History Month programming on campus.
And we'll show you what's cooking in the producer's kitchen. I'm Samantha DeBusk.
And I'm Extasia Benjamin. Thanks for watching.